As seen in the first episode of the Clone Wars TV series entitled Ambush, through a successful battle against the Asajj Ventress and the battle droids of the Separatist droid army, Yoda was able to establish a Republic base on the mid-rim planet of Thire, which would assist the Republic's efforts in the Clone War. But more importantly, in carrying out this mission on the outer rim moon of Rvmuller, Yoda would come to see the uniqueness of each clone trooper while fighting beside Lieutenant Thire and clone troopers Jack and Rvmuller, who were all part of the Coruscant Guard but assigned to diplomatic escort duty to assist Yoda with his efforts. This understanding about the clone troopers was viewed as tremendously important by Yoda, and he wanted to ensure the Jedi always remembered that throughout the galactic conflict. The first episode of the Clone Wars shows the admiration Yoda and the three clone troopers established towards each other, but the short story found within the recently released Star Wars: The Clone Wars Stories of Light and Dark that provides Yoda's perspective of the events from this episode goes even further. With Yoda being offered the use of Thire for a Republic base, Asajj Ventress escaping Rvmuller, and Yoda providing Dooku with a few final words, the episode ends with a Republic Venator appearing, and three gunships traveling towards the surface of the moon. Yoda and the three clone troopers would board one of them to leave Rvmuller, the episode closing as the gunship returns to the Venator following their successful mission. However, that isn't the end of the story providing Yoda's perspective in the Clone Wars Stories of Light and Dark. As Thire received medical attention for his injured leg that resulted from the battle, while the lieutenant believed the mission was successful through the actions of Yoda, the Jedi Master was clear. He would not have succeeded alone, and was fortunate to have had all three of the clone troopers there with him. It was a lesson of great importance. If they continued to work together in such a way, the Republic would win the Clone War. But then Rvmuller was disappointed to note that the three clone troopers would have to return to Coruscant and continue their efforts there as part of the Coruscant Guard. Recognizing the disappointment in his voice, Yoda told the clone troopers that they would go their separate ways for now, but he was confident that they would see each other again, and importantly, it was something that Yoda felt through the Force. The story then provides a scene of Yoda alone in his cabin on a Jedi cruiser, meditating with the lights of the cabin low. Initially, Yoda noticed the differences between what he sensed upon the moon of Rvmuller and what he sensed regarding the Jedi cruiser itself. But Yoda also reached out with the Force and sensed the clone troopers surrounding him, again recognizing that while there were similarities present within each trooper, there were variations there as well, and they would all have different experiences as the Clone War continued. The realization again made Yoda commit himself to never forget this understanding. However, when Yoda then attempted to return to his meditation, the faces of Thire, Rvmuller, and Jack, the three clone troopers he just fought beside, kept coming to him, providing a vision of each of them as he meditated. He first saw Rvmuller, seeing the clone trooper looking surprised, as while his eyes were open, he saw nothing, with Yoda noticing his face was covered in bright, brilliant flakes that landed and settled there. Yoda then saw Jack within green armor, raising a hand to his helmet to listen to his comlink. Immediately, he could sense the clone trooper's feelings of disbelief and regret, but then those feelings disappeared, leaving him with only the need to carry out his orders. And finally, importantly for our video here, Yoda saw Thire, wearing a helmet with bright crimson upon it. Not only that, but Yoda could tell the clone trooper was searching for something. Even more, Yoda sensed someone else with Thire, a presence that felt like a vast storm within the Force, which was full of both malice and greed. Troubled by what he saw, Yoda's eyes opened. It's a great scene, as Yoda was able to see a vision of each of the three clone troopers likely carrying out their orders during Order 66 and its aftermath, with Rvmuller and Jack clearly initially shocked by it, but then that feeling disappearing as the biochip containing Clone Protocol 66 activated, forcing the clone troopers to carry out their attack against the Jedi, as was just revealed in the recent final season of the Clone Wars TV series. And very interestingly, Yoda would see Thire, then a commander within the Coruscant Guard, reporting the results of his search for Yoda to Emperor Palpatine following their duel in Episode 3. As we know, it's Commander Thire in this scene from the film. Although Yoda, of course, wouldn't know it during this early period of the Clone War, Thire was searching for Yoda himself, and the presence he felt, which was full of malice and greed, was Darth Sidious. In this way, Yoda saw a scene demonstrating his eventual defeat to Sidious through the role carried out by Commander Thire. While Yoda was troubled by what he saw, even though he didn't know exactly what it depicted, he also knew that visions of the future were dangerous, and those Jedi who dedicated themselves to stopping them only brought about that which they wanted to prevent. Yoda provided that very lesson thousands of times, and yet, his previous line to the clone troopers that they would see each other again brought apprehension. In the end, Yoda knew the future was always in motion, and he would follow and accept his own lesson that he dedicated himself to. No matter what the vision showed him, Yoda knew the Force would do as it willed, and he would merely attempt to understand and accept that will. This was something he'd always done, and believed it was something all Jedi should ever attempt to do. Again, it's a great story that adds a lot to the episode from the Clone Wars TV series, but which also includes these new interesting elements within the canon lore for Yoda and the clone troopers. As I mentioned in our previous video, if you're reading the Clone Wars Stories of Light and Dark, let me know which stories you've enjoyed most. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and as always, may the Force be with you.